Guys, what the heck is going on for Bitcoin? It has not even been a week since we were talking about bottom scenarios, seller exhaustion, and the apparent demand of Bitcoin finally coming back to the markets. And then this, boom, Bitcoin almost scratching the 70,000 US dollar markets, leaving us with one of the best entries I've personally ever done, looking at local and potential bottom scenarios with the entry prices of $57,000 and $58,000 for Bitcoin. And today we have to talk about potential price targets for Bitcoin right now. I want also to compare the bottom fractions of the Bitcoin price with the last bear markets. What were the ending patterns? What was the signal for Bitcoin to end the bear markets? Because with this pump today, it looks pretty familiar with the bottom of 2022 bear markets. If you zoom back out of this chart, you will see directly parallels and potential bottom signals. I want to talk about this fraction of the Bitcoin chart and also the fractal of the last Bitcoin bear market 2018-2019 was beginning with the first big initial pump, liquidating billions and billions of shorts, and with 2.77 billions in short liquidations, we have to look at the charts right now, where to take profit, what am I expecting of the Bitcoin price, and of course, what will be the nail in the coffin for the bears? When do I flip full bull mode? When is this bear market over and we can expect higher prices for the Bitcoin right now in the immediate short and midterm and even the long term for the Bitcoin price? And with this, welcome back guys on the channel. What crazy summer is behind us. We have really seen a lot of sideways actions, lot of drawdown, and in the comments everyone was screaming for lower Bitcoin prices, and out of nowhere, out of a Trump conversation and meeting, the whole market sentiment flipped within a few hours in potential bull mode again. And we want to talk about today's liquidation heat maps, today's behavior in the market books, because what is happening right now couldn't be more unhealthy for Bitcoin. And I'm also for myself a little bit confused and not 100% sure whether we have to take even more profits. But first of all, I want to start with taking profits. Of course, in our closed P&L, you can see we nailed this pump perfectly with the entry prices of even 64,000 areas. We completely got benefited from this whole Bitcoin pump, made a few $1,000s in realized prices already, in realized profits, even on hyperliquid. Man, Donald Trump shout-outing hyperliquid here. And also this trade, I took more than half of the profits, and my active positions are looking a little bit slimmed down. Today we took a lot of profits in these price areas, and for me, for Bitcoin, I wanted to see the 70k ratio, because from the last local top, this is a retracement in the fib levels we really have to take care of. $70,000 once, of course, is a psychology price market, and then we have the 0.5 fib level retracing like half of the big dump, beginning with the sailor sell, beginning with the sell the news event of the Clarity Act reading, and so on. So we put our short at 81,000, we closed it at 67,000, we opened full long commitment in the markets here on our positions, even in coin margin we have still positions on. And now the interesting thing is the target zone for Bitcoin, which is still big resistance, and where I will take the last take profits of my longs is going to be the 73 to 78,000 US dollars. Here will be my last call, my last take profit before we enter potential bull market starting period. What do I mean with this? Of course we can go lower, and of course I'm having an eye on the liquidations, because most of the liquidations right now for Bitcoin is below this actual price. We have a Bitcoin liquidation price at 61 to 62,000. So the most and the majority of the liquidations are below us. We vanished and liquidated all the shorts, potential of months and months of short trading, and now the biggest liquidation cluster is at this price level, $62,000. And of course, exactly there I want to buy my next portions of the Bitcoin trades. So far we did a really good job accumulating Bitcoin here, so you can have a look at my spot accumulation. Bitcoin is already 5,000 euros more expensive per unit, and even on our small long trades on this account on OKX, we are almost $2,000 up in profit, and my limit orders are laying there, are just patient, and that is one of the key things in the market. Be patient. Don't FOMO in these market conditions, because everyone who is buying right now is doing the same exact thing as the retailers. Our retail whale indicator nailed it again with best accumulations for whales versus retail. Also the Binance Top Trader were entering in this accumulation zone right here before the pump, and now looking at this one, it screams like be cautious. Binance Top Trader are only 53% in long positions anymore, so barely over half of the percent is in long positions. Then we have retail accumulation at these prices, and of course after shorts got wrecked completely, I'm a little bit afraid we might see a reversal in this chart soon. So taking profits and taking profits for me in Bitcoin is one of the most important things in these market conditions. What will happen if we go higher, and when do I think is the bear market bottom confirmed? And guys, it's not unrealistic. It's only not so visible for many people, but as soon as we are starting to target the $82,000 local tops here before the last dump of the bear market, we have potentially a higher high in the market. We have bottomed out of these conditions, and what even happened is a trend break from the all-time high down to this $57,000 levels. The trend break is already here. We can go sideways for weeks, for months, until October or even furthermore, but as soon as we finally hit the $82,900 levels, beat the local top and go for a new high in this market, it's potentially one of the best things to say we might have new higher highs in this market. Until there, it's still potentially possible that we see price correction, that we see huge liquidations from the long positions all the market time. Of course, we are in high risk going long right now, so I'm just sitting on the sidelines. We're taking massive profits on these positions. And what else has been done and said by Trump? He did just one thing which I could not believe myself. He just pumped Hyperliquid to the almost all-time high prices. Trump did a shout out to Hyperliquid, really boosting our long positions on almost every account. We had some open, even my positions here on OKX I'm opening here, Hyperliquid here with almost $1,000 in profit. We already took $460 out of it, so it's about 1,500 in profits, and I started to do the hedge mode. Of course, when Trump shout outs your coin, we maybe be a bit cautious, and it will take months until there will be follow-up news or something. So taking profit on these trades is not a big mistake. Taking profits on longs on Bitcoin, on Hyperliquid, on almost every one of these assets, and a bit of the other positions might also be in a take profit soon. And for me personally, what did not play out as much as I wanted it to play out was Ethereum. Ethereum, I'm a big let's say not supporter of Ethereum. We did last bull run, super performance. We bought below $1,000 and $1,200 average prices. We sold at over $4,000 exit prices in average. And so I'm also looking at potential shorts in Ethereum. Yesterday we wrecked. We got wrecked. We lost money on Ethereum shorts. We lost about 10% of our profits just in the Ethereum short positions, which are now not loading. Very great internet here in the Austrian mountains. I love this nature, I love everything, but the internet is like completely garbage. So Ethereum is now at a really interesting point. What we have to be cautious on is one of the biggest liquidations in Ethereum happening in the charts since the all-time high, like really since the 4,900, 4,800. Here is at 2,500, the biggest liquidation risk for traders, for short traders, and probably this will be a great entry on an Ethereum short position. My first entry out of this consolidation got stopped very soon. The entry I'm looking right now at is at $2,250, so it's the last retracement probably for Ethereum before we break up to the biggest short liquidation right at 2,500 roundabout. So this is probably very interesting and will be my biggest short position for Ethereum planned before we might break to the upside. So I'm really looking at Bitcoin. If it breaks to the upside, we're gonna take a look at Ethereum, taking maybe risking a stop loss of $200 to $500. It's not a big problem. And for me, the most important thing is to go into the Bitcoin price, to accumulate Bitcoin, dollar cost average in the local dips in Bitcoin, and trying to make, of course, the most out of it, as this is one of the leading assets. It will be probably the best performing assets in the bull market, it is probably one of the best performing assets and most stable and not destroying assets in the bear market. So this will be, of course, my leading position, and I'm looking out for the reaction of Bitcoin at 73 to 77,000 US dollars. What's going to happen here will be extremely decisive, and I'm going to take action, taking profits, the last profits before we go in all-time high profits. This will be my station, taking profits out here all the way up, putting my liquidity lower, buying lower Bitcoin prices, and then let's see if we get the possibility to accumulate Bitcoin lower. If not, okay, we have our positioning, and over the $83,000 we can almost scream for the bull run. It will be amazing, it will be crazy. I'm super looking forward to it, and with that also look on Hyperliquid, because I sold almost all my Hyperliquid token at $70.50, and now Trump is pumping the altcoins to the roof, especially Hyperliquid. So of course on this news we had to take profit. Of course we have to do it, and if we see a drawdown, I will let you know, guys, when I'm going to buy back in. I'm taking, of course, the last profits also in our positions, trying to get the most out of this decentralized exchange. I'm a huge fan of exchange tokens, so let's see how the development will be there. But really crazy to look back on this brutal times, brutal destroyed times in the Bitcoin market. And let me, guys, know what you think about the prices. I now get like the notifications we're hitting the 70k levels, so pretty amazing times, pretty crazy times. Let me know what you think about it. Is the bottom confirmed? Will we not see lower prices than 57,000? Or if you are a complete bear and you know we're going lower, let me know in the comments. And until there, we're gonna see each other, of course, in the next update video and in the next upload here on the channel. Make sure to subscribe, and thanks a lot for all the likes and comments under the video. Looking forward, and then I wish you the very best and the very best patience with your investments. We're gonna see each other soon. Bye bye, guys. Ciao.